I started planting sunflowers in that spot out there about 20 years ago. The first ones I planted out there were the Texas Giant sunflowers, and they were the ones that had the big striped seed in them. Stalks would get anywhere from 5 to 8 feet tall, but they only had one flower to the stalk. And of course those flowers would be anywhere from 6 to 18 inches across the blossom. Later on I started planting just the black oil sunflowers out there. Usually about 3 different color blooms in the center of the bloom. They'll be brown, yellow, black, the different colors. And of course along with that I had been planting a vegetable garden out there along with the sunflowers. I'd have cucumbers and pole beans, and I'd plant the sunflowers along those rows so the cucumbers and pole beans would have something to climb on. Of course the sunflowers would get up, the particular varieties get up usually on an average year about 6 to 8 feet tall. They have numerous blossoms to the plant. They'll be all the way up and down the stalks. I just leave them out there for the birds to eat. And then in the fall of the year, when the sunflowers die back, what I do is just take the lawnmower and run over them and cut them down. There's always enough seed left that they reseed themselves. I don't ever have to replant them. I'll dig up in the fall and plant turnips out there, and the sunflowers, I'll have a lot of them that'll come back in the fall, but they don't get up big enough to bloom. I have flowers on them. And then when I dig it up again in the spring, there's still enough sunflowers that come back that there's a big crop of sunflowers out there. And I don't ever have to bother with replanting. And and they got to coming back so thick, I just quit planting anything out there except a row of tomatoes and mix a row of squash and cucumbers on each side, the top and bottom side of the area there, just to have tomatoes and cucumbers and squash to eat, and let the sunflowers have the rest of it. As a general rule, there is just hundreds of sunflowers out there, and I have a lot of people that be passing on the highway and will stop and come in and ask to take pictures of them because they like them. They've seen them there for years, and so I just keep letting them grow there. Now this year, of course, has been a dry year, and they didn't get very tall. Most of them were not much more than waist high or something other like that. Some of them got up fairly tall, but there was still a huge crop of them, and were beautiful again this year. Even with the dry weather, there was a lot of flowers and a lot of color, and so I'm just going to keep letting them grow out there and let the birds have them, and run a lawnmower over them in the fall so that they'll come back next year.